Hello again. Um, I was walking through the town of Tanorada, Malaysia, and I ran across a couple that had a similar problem that I just had to deal with back in Dalat, Vietnam. And that was a lost ATM card. When I was in Ho Chi Minh City, I left my ATM card in an ATM machine, walked away, and didn't realize it until I was all the way in Dalat, Vietnam, about 4 or 5 hours away. So fortunately, I had prepared and got my banking in order before I left the United States, and had a backup bank account that I could transfer some money into and use the backup ATM card from that account. Uh, However, I also had planned ahead to use a bank that was not going to charge me some foreign transaction fees, foreign ATM fees, all the friction costs that you run into when you're traveling internationally. But also, the bank that I had chose has by far the best customer service available, and that's Charles Schwab Bank. You need to get a Charles Schwab checking account if you are planning on doing international travel from America. We'll say I got them on the phone, talked to a real person speaking native English, and they had a replacement card shipped by DHL by the next morning to my hotel. Now, it didn't arrive the next morning, but they had it shipped by the next morning. And about 6 days later, I received the ATM card at the hotel, and I was back in business. But this couple didn't do this sort of planning, and they had to rely on transferring some cash to me, getting it through electronic transfer app like Venmo or Cash App or whatever, and then I hand them some local currency in exchange, and then they get back in business until they can get things sorted. Not exactly what you want to rely upon when you're in a foreign country. Make sure you get your friction costs sorted before you leave. That's one thing, and one of the best ways to do that is getting a checking account at Charles Schwab Bank. Another thing to do is make sure that the credit card you're going to use does not have foreign transaction processing fees. These add up quick, I will tell you. From experience, I know. And the card that I've selected for international travel is the Chase Amazon Prime Visa card. Not only are there no foreign transaction fees when traveling abroad, but it has one of the best rewards programs available in the United States, and no annual fee. So finding another card that doesn't have foreign transaction fees and doesn't have an annual fee and has a good rewards program is a tall order, but these are the ones that I recommend, and the solutions that I recommend for navigating these friction costs that you are going to run into. They are absolutely unavoidable, even if you do what I suggested and getting these two cards. You will still run into some friction costs traveling internationally. For example, I can pull out some money when I arrive in a country, and whatever currency it is, like right now I'm in Malaysia, so we'll say Malaysian ringgit. And I did exactly that. I pulled out some Malaysian ringgit from an ATM machine using my Schwab ATM card. And I'm going to be leaving the country, and I still have quite a bit of Malaysian ringgit left over. I didn't spend it all. I don't know if I just had too big of a budget for this section of my trip, or I managed to shop more frugally than I anticipated. I'm not sure how I managed to do it, but I have too much Malaysian ringgit. Now I'm going to have to exchange that back into dollars, because we're in my next country is the Malaysian ringgit is a minor currency there, which means I'm going to get a terrible exchange rate. I'm actually going to pay 2 premiums to do 2 exchanges, one to American dollars and then one to the next currency, which means I'm going to get zinged twice, but it's still going to be less than exchanging Malaysian ringgit in that country. So even with planning ahead and having the right banking relationships and the right credit cards and everything, you still end up running into small friction costs along the way. But it's better than not planning at all, or just hoping that your bank and your credit cards are going to work flawlessly in whatever country you go to. So look into it in advance and be prepared.